I'm India Vincent. I work with Burr Forman, and I practice in the firm's corporate and intellectual property section. Most of my days are spent working with people in a variety of industries who have small to medium-sized businesses. We start by helping them get their businesses organized. We help them develop strategies to grow and build their companies to meet their particular goals. And then with the more mature companies, helping them deal with the day-to-day issues that any company faces. My focus is on intellectual property aspects. We work with advising companies in all aspects of the business, trying to make the decisions that are best for them from a profitability standpoint. And I focus on how do we identify their key intellectual property, what we can tell them and help them do in order to maximize the value of the intellectual property to the company and to make sure it's protected from third parties trying to use it. Interestingly, a lot of parts of the business have not changed. You still find companies with the same day-to-day challenges. They all have to get customers, have contracts with those customers. They have to work with vendors to buy whatever supplies they need or provide a service. They have employees to deal with. What I think we probably see more of today is intellectual property challenges to the business. Hopefully that's in the nature of the company being able to assert its rights against third parties and make sure that people are not infringing on its own rights. But unfortunately there are the cases where the company is being challenged and told it can't use some of its intellectual property. As the geographic scope of everybody's business expands, issues that an Alabama business might have had to deal with 10 years ago, only if it were a competitor in Alabama, now it can be a competitor anywhere in the United States or even overseas, and you see it happen more and more frequently because the geographic scope continues to expand. I think that trend is simply going to continue. The mesh between businesses from different areas of the country is just going to continue to get more and more overlapping. We see it today with domain name challenges where companies have other people trying to register domain names that infringe on their trademark, particularly with domain names outside of your standard .com or .net, the ones that are new and up and coming domain names, lots of squatting on those. Same thing with international trademarks. Different countries have different rules as to when you can register, and we're seeing a lot of people getting notices from Argentina, China, Asia, other Asian countries indicating somebody is trying to register your trademark in our country. Do you want to challenge it? And it's going to be an interesting challenge for companies as they're getting started and have limited resources to decide when and if they need to take steps to try and preclude those uses. It's always difficult to give a young lawyer advice on where to start and to try and select a practice area early in their careers. Like many areas, school teaches you how to learn what you need to know, but doesn't really teach you how to do it. I think most people start out with an idea of where they're going, and it's not unusual a year or two into practice to think I'm more interested in something else. I think the catch to doing that is during the time you're clerking in your first years of practice, pay particular attention to the things you're working on. Don't get stuck in your preconception of this is what I want to do. If you really enjoy something, even though you think this is never what I thought I would be doing, take advantage of that, try it out, and if you enjoy it, do it. I've been a member of the Venture Club since I started working at Burr Forman, so almost 11 years now. And it's always the central place within Birmingham to find out what's going on in the entrepreneurial community, to interact with people from all aspects of that. It takes your investors, your bankers, your accountants, lawyers, the entrepreneurs themselves, and the people with experience being entrepreneurs to make the community continue to grow and work. And this is the one place that brings all of them together and gives us the chance to interact. Getting involved in the Venture Club is really dependent on how much effort you're willing to put into it. We are a membership organization, obviously, but people can come and visit, come to a meeting. You don't necessarily have to be invited. And once you're here, certainly make the time to talk to the people that you're sitting with while you're eating, before and after the meetings. You get out of the club what you put into it. There's always an effort, there's always a place to volunteer. If you have a creative idea that you think would be good for the club, the board is always willing to listen, or at least that's what I've found when I've shared ideas.